Hi there, friends. It's Seth Koster with Telepractice Tech Tips. Let's dive right in. I am just connecting with you to talk to you a little bit about Teams today. I hope you like my haircut. I call it the COVID-19 because my hair was getting long and my wife decided it needed to be cut, and so she pulled out a pair of scissors. And I could have done two things. One, I could have said, "Oh no." And I could have seen the look on her face, which said, "You don't trust me." Or two, I could have gotten this haircut, which I am overjoyed with, and I hope everybody else is too. If you look down here on the left-hand bottom corner, it's very simple, and it tells you right there, join or create a team. However, when you actually do this, it's important that you do it in the right way to ensure privacy. So we go ahead, we click join or create a team, and we want to create a team, and we want to build a team from scratch. So we click on build a team from scratch, and you absolutely want it to be private. You do not want anybody else having access to or knowledge of the group that you've created, the team that you've created. So we click on private, and now we give it a name, and I am just going to give it the name test because it's just a test team. Now we create the team. So just click create, and it is building the team, and it tells you nice work. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And now, this is where you can add members. You can also always add members later on, so don't feel like you're stuck if you forget to add somebody or if you're not sure of the email address or something. That's okay. You'll be able to do it later. However, let's say that we know the email address. We can just put it in right now. It's not a real email address, but it will just add it as a test. And when I click that, and when I click add, it will send out an invitation to that email. So they will get an email to join your team, to download Teams, all of those good things. However, I never rely on that. I always also send out a link, and I'll show you the link up in the right-hand corner later on. And then I click close, and here we are. And this is our brand new team. Let's say that we're working with a middle schooler, and we also want to add their parent. We go ahead here, we click on add members to the team, and then we just go ahead and put in whatever email addresses we want. And we can put in multiple email addresses, just put in one email address, click add, another email address, click add, etc., all the way up until you're done with all of the email addresses. You can always add and remove people later on as well. If you look down here at the bottom, you see several different icons, and you might have already guessed that right there, the one with the camera, is the Meet Now icon. We go ahead and we click on Meet Now. I don't bother adding a subject. I click on Meet Now. You could also schedule a meeting if you wanted. So let's go ahead right over here. Let's click on Show Device Settings. I'm going to move this out of our way so that you can see. And I'm just going to go ahead and drag this over here so you can see it. And now you can see that we have our audio devices and separately our speaker and microphone. And we also have our camera right here. This is where you change everything. Now, one of the things that people do that's not necessarily a mistake, but it's not the easiest way to do this, is to just go to audio devices and click on something. That changes everything. That may not be what you want to do. I find it better to just have a little bit more control. I go in and I click on what I want out of the speakers. And then do the same thing for microphone. Pick the microphone that you want. And if your client can't hear you, this is a really good place to go to double check that you have the correct microphone selected and try out different microphones and see if another one works if your client is not hearing you and you've double checked everything else. It may just be that the microphone that you selected isn't working for some reason. Over here, the next one with the two people, show participants. Now this is really useful because right here you can click the copy joining info, and now it has just copied the link to this meeting into my clipboard. So let's say that I get a panicky email from my client. "Oh my goodness, I can't join. I don't know where it is. I'm not sure what to do." I go ahead, I start the meeting. I'm going to be waiting for them in the meeting at that point anyway. And then I just copy the join info and I go ahead and respond to them with that join info. You don't have to go hunt it down. You don't have to go searching. If you send that join info to them, when they click that link, if they have Teams already installed on their computer, it will open Teams. And if they don't, then it will prompt them to install it or to open it in their web browser. Over here, we also have somebody who should be in the meeting, but we can see that they have not joined yet. Now, it may be that they have Teams open, but they don't know how to join. If we click these three little dots, we can click Ask to Join, and then it will ring on their machine, and they can answer it, and they will be brought directly into the meeting. Right here, I'm going to click the share button, and now it gives us a lot of options. And in general, there is only one that I choose. This is my main screen. The reason why it has multiple screens over here, 1, 2, 3, is because I have 3 monitors. I have my laptop monitor, which is down there. I have an external monitor, which is over there. And I have you on my main monitor. That being said, I generally avoid things like the windows and all of those types of things. I generally pick the screen that I use. And the reason is that if I pick a specific application or something like that, then I am locked into that application for the sharing. And that can be a pain if I want to switch to a different application. Oh, one more thing that we should talk about here, and I'm going to unshare for just a moment, and I'm going to reshare. Up at the top here, you can see Include System Audio. If you're going to be sharing something like a YouTube video or anything else where there's audio that you want your client to hear, you're definitely going to want to click this checkbox. So I'm going to go ahead there, and now we are sharing. Now you can see up here we have Give Control. That is the button that we use to pass the client control of the mouse and keyboard. One of the really nice things about Teams is that if you share the mouse, you and your client actually get separate mice to use. You get separate cursors. And your initials and your client's initials will show up next to each person's mouse. So your mouse will have your initials next to it in a little circle, and your clients will have their initials. Hey, before you go, don't forget to click that subscribe button and notification bell down below so that you get notified when my future content comes out. Also, if you want to leave a comment, I'd really appreciate hearing what you have to say. Do feel free to give me ideas for future content if you'd like. All right, thanks so much. Bye now.